Here we go.
Why am I always the first to the party?
Hey, look, I don't know. Well, welcome to the party. I don't know. Welcome to the party.
First to the party and first to leave. That's me.
Hey, you come in, do what you gotta do, and keep it moving.
That's how I've lived my life, darling.
Hey,
Stick
you
and
get
move, bob and weave.
stick and move, bob and weave.
Speaking of bobbing and weaving, did you see Egypt, Chris? Tretch and Peppa's daughter got in the boxing ring.
Oh, yeah, I seen that. Free. What's going on, love? Yeah, I seen that.
Baby
And
girl
Trent
took a nap
said,
early.
yeah, she took a nap early. And Trent said, he had some words for the husband, like, it's your fault. He blamed the husband.
Yeah, he's about he wanted to come up, and there you have it.
Mm-hmm. So he wasn't even trained. Like, yeah.
I can't. That baby girl, she just fell face down. Just, whoo, jeez. I felt for her.
Yes.
I hurt for that poor baby.
Mm-hmm.
But you going up against a 3-time Olympic boxer. I don't know. Gold medalist.
You shouldn't even been in the ring.
She should never have been in that ring at all.
She should never have been in that ring.
They set her up for the proverbial fall.
Oh, absolutely. Straight up failure.
She wasn't ready for that girl. That girl hit her one time.
And she was done.
Done. Laid out. Over. And bleeding. I said, good God Almighty. Can we just get a good boxing match, like, somewhere?
Yeah, that was a recipe for non-success.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She was truly unprepared.
Like,
Unprepared.
how you gonna go up against an Olympic boxer?
An Olympic boxer. 3-time gold medal winning Olympic boxer.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Let everybody come on in.
Come on in the room.
Pretty much, she would go up against one.
What, an Olympic boxer?
I wouldn't.
Not me. I like my face and my teeth too much.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I like to be real with myself.
One must know one's limitations.
Hey, for the right amount of money, I get in the ring though.
I'd stand there, let her hit me one time, and then I'll fall out.
No falling out. Yep. You'll be training real good. I'm gonna be training real good.
Just for the purse. Just for the purse.
Oh, he training hard. Ooh. Yep.
She would just breeze past me. Ah! Psh! I'm out.
Yeah, that's wild.
Oh, my word.
Everybody. It's going to be a nice little short one tonight.
Really?
I'm going to be short. Look, I ain't going to be on here all night.
Well, you did a good one last night. We were out by, what, 10?
Yeah, before then.
10 my time.
Yeah, 10 your time. Yeah, we came in here and me and Kia was up here.
Because everybody was in the chat.
Everybody was in the chat. Everybody was pulling in. Everybody was doing the free to be. So that thing was like this. Me and Kia was like, let's get it. So that was dope.
It was good.
Stay out the comments, man. She's be like, look, this is my domain. This
is my domain.
Right. You peasants, get out of my area.
Out of my garden. You're banished out of my kingdom, my queendom.
He said it was crowded.
Couldn't hear yourself think, Humphrey.
Hey, look, everybody was in that chat for real. I was like, yo, that's crazy. But yeah. Double O Divine, what's up, man? That is true. Everybody was sick. Everybody was like, "Yeah, let me camp out here in the comment section."
But it's great that everybody still supported. They came out to support.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's always cool.
That was the main thing. So,
that is the best part.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. My daughter is on her way to Miami tomorrow morning.
Hey, that's what's up.
To be 19 with no responsibilities.
Hey.
The world is good.
The world is good. What you water, eyes, snot, slanging, sniffles, sneezing, all of that. So you can rest medicine. Vicks. Sound like a whole commercial.
Itchy, watery eyes. Snot slinging. Ooh, that sounds messy.
It's real messy. Yeah.
Where's big guy? Big guy. Big guy. Big guy.
I don't know.
He's probably on the road or asleep. Remember, he wasn't feeling well either.
I know.
Maybe he's recuperating too. See, he was outside all this time. Up there taking all them photos of all them young ladies and stuff like that for his birthday. Now he coughing up a lung.
Hey.
It ain't every day you make 50.
Nah, man. But that was, hey, man, to see it though, that's what's up.
Yeah. So many people didn't get a chance to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. You're in the at that point you're in the third quarter of life.
Yeah, y'all got the third. I'm in the fourth inning. I'm going in.
Yeah, you're in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, fourth quarter. This is a hard court press right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make the most of my time.
Right. Absolutely.
I'm gonna make some goals. If it chews me up, I'm gonna try. I'll just be glad to get out of the country for a while.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Malia, hey niece, how you feeling?
Free, you gonna come out to Tuscany and visit me?
She said visit. She said take her with you. I think she said that last night.
Pack her bag, Pookie Bear. Pack her bag.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah.
We're gonna stop in Japan and see my girls. We're gonna go out to Kyoto. There's Kita. We'll go to Kyoto first, and then we'll go to Italy.
Yeah.
Not in those people's place no more.
I know, right? Stay out in the folk place, niece. Taking up residency. Yeah.
Oh my God, today.
How was your day? It was all right?
Me?
Yeah.
It was a day.
You still on countdown to retirement. How many days we got?
I have 15 months.
15 months?
Yep, 15 months.
Oh, yeah. You short time now.
Yeah,
That's short time.
I'm just getting all that time just packed in now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's cool.
I just be
Appreciate the
glad.
area. Appreciate the gifts. Free.
Oh, thank you, Pookie Bear. For you, always so wonderful.
Let's see.
I've decided I am not going to go on anybody's live unless it's last night, tonight, and maybe on a Saturday. Because I'm not understanding what the rules and regs are. Hey, did you know that the dude that owns Oracle bought TikTok?
No.
Yes, he did.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hey, man.
He purchased TikTok.
Must be nice.
What's his name? Lawrence something or other?
Well, whatever his name is, you need to let him stop all these dang old stupid stuff they be regulating.
I wish. They flag people for the silliest things and other people just run amok.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can use the N-word all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Oh, they ain't gonna let you stop that.
Oh no. Oh
No,
no. That's okay.
that's okay. But if you say something about something else, SA or something like that, then it's
Oh, they ban you.
they ban you.
They put you on TikTok timeout.
Yeah, man, it's so goofy.
It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when the novelty dies down, then it'll be a different story.
Right.
Right now, it's novel because they're taking off all the reality shows. So this is the only reality show people have right now.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm just trying to get it built up so I could be on my YT and really start doing some things.
Okay. Making moves, making plans.
Mm-hmm.
A man with a plan is a good thing.
Like and subscribe. Hey. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Yeah, exactly. All right, one more minute. I'm just letting everybody kind of roll on through.
I
One more minute.
gotta get to a Barnes and Nobles.
Yeah.
I need a good couple of books. I need a nice list of really good reading material.
Mm-hmm.
Any suggestions, anybody?
I mean, you know, I don't know. I've been, I've been reading like a lot of, you know, I've just been reading random stuff lately.
Okay.
Like stuff like this.
The 7 principles of making marriage. Okay, now.
Yeah,
You know I had to read that backwards, right? It came up backwards.
Why is the oh?
I can read backwards. It's a good thing I can.
I wonder if I can change.
Can you reverse the camera?
Let's see. I mean, the most you'll get is me doing it like this.
The 7 principles of making a marriage work. You're good.
Okay.
You have intellects on this line, dear.
Yes. Yeah.
We can walk and chew gum.
Isn't that something? That's huge. Sharon, what's good? So, man, we're gonna get started so we can keep it pushing. Dive, what's going on, cousin? Welcome in, everybody. 100. You guys grab that little daily heart me up at the top, like, share, subscribe, and let's jump. So I'll get some light with you, man. Okay.
We
When
have
should
to.
we talk about a prenup in a relationship? And we started to highlight it, yesterday, but we're gonna try to talk about it. What's going on, Sharon? How you feeling today?
Hey, how are you?
Good, good. Um, but yeah, when should you talk about a prenup in a relationship? South
Right
Carolina,
off the bat.
right off the bat, I agree. Um,
Get it out the way.
yeah, get it out the way, let it be known. You know, because I was looking at that yesterday, because I was looking at what was going on with Dak and how the wedding got called off. Because she didn't want to sign a prenup, but which is like I look at it like y'all already got like two kids together. Now you want to talk about it? Like
He
I'm
kind of
not
late in the
even.
game, ain't he?
Yeah, I'm like I understand her point of view. You know what I'm saying? Like she's like, why would I do it now? We got two kids together. Like,
Were
come
they
on.
married?
No,
Were they
that's the thing. They're getting married. They was getting married in a month, and they called the wedding off. Call it quits.
but they got two kids together.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can see
So
why she said no.
yeah, she said no. Like we connected. We are like a whole family right now. What do you mean?
Right.
you know.
I
And
mean, unless she looked at it and got what she wanted in there and went
mhm,
ahead with it, I can see I can find a silver thread in
maybe.
that.
Yeah, I you know what? I can see the silver thread, right? I can see that, right? But I still hold him accountable for that. You
Because
know,
he
you
got a
know,
whole family. He put together a whole family.
you
Now
put
you want to
together
put the
a
rules
whole
in?
family, right? So it's like, oh, now
Yeah.
I got two kids, and now we're about to get married. So now let me protect my assets. But what he's really protecting is the fact that he just signed a whole new contract.
Yep. That's what he's protecting.
like you
Yeah,
about to get.
I would have let him bow out. I would have played smart and put in there what I needed, what my kids needed. Okay, we stay married
Mhm.
for 5 years, and after 5 years, we get a divorce. I get this, I get that, I get this, I get that. I would have had him
Yeah,
think about that, what he said, what he
yeah,
wanted.
right, right. So
Yeah.
I
That's not
mean,
going to happen.
yeah,
It
yeah,
could have happened.
And
I
there's probably
mean,
some verbiage in there that she didn't appreciate.
right.
well, you can counter
But I mean,
you can counter that.
You know something? You don't
yeah,
fight over somebody else's money.
no,
I ain't fighting
Yeah,
over nobody
I,
else's money.
no, you don't. But I mean, I think that like, to everybody's point is in the beginning you got to have these type of conversations.
Right.
exactly.
Go and start doing all of this building and all this stuff, and you know that you're a person that has money, right? Have a
Right.
conversation about it.
Exactly.
I like Jay Z and Beyonce. Most people don't realize Jay Z and Beyonce got a prenup
Oh, well,
and
why
a post
wouldn't
nup.
they though? Why wouldn't they
Yeah,
though?
exactly. They got a prenup
I'm
saying,
sure
"Hey,
her
look,
man
this when I came into this marriage with, I'm going to keep it. I'm not saying we're going anywhere." And then they did a post nup. Everything that we have accrued from the time we got married until now, if we terminate our marriage, we're going to split that junk right down the middle.
I
I
think
think it's.
if you are over 20 years old out of college, or if you are in your career and you have some assets, regardless of how old you are, I think you should have a prenup.
Mhm. Yeah, and most people look
It's
at the
just
prenup
business.
as a negative, right? That
It's
part
not.
it's business. Yes,
But they put the
yep.
cart before the horse a lot of times. And
A lot of times.
you know what I
But
mean? And
who's
then
they?
you
Who's
shut
they?
yourself out of assets, future
Hmm.
assets.
But who's they? I don't know who they is.
Well, people who don't think like it's a business. If you don't think about this as being a business, it's a contract. It's a binding contract that the two of
Oh,
you
okay.
going into. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Yeah.
if you're saying I got the 2 kids, so I'm good for the rest of my life, oh, absolutely not. Oh, no, no, no.
That
Because
don't
because
mean
when them
nothing.
kids get 18, there might be a clause that the money goes to them and not to you. So think.
I
Hmm.
mean, and I think that's where sometimes females, just get caught up in the I'm getting ready to get married, getting ready to get taken care of, and I think that where women have to arm themselves and get smart about it and stop thinking with their heart and more so
Hmm.
thinking with their mind. And
Yeah.
as far as Jay-Z and Beyonce, oh, I'm sure that both of their parties said no, no, no. Their management
Alone.
said no. We're not doing anything without a prenup.
Right. Right. That's when you got a team that works for you. Um,
Yeah.
that's like Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel got a prenup.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got to get prenups on these things. You got to. You know.
You have to. I mean, if you've been married again, if you've been married before, people are getting married and divorced and they have assets and I don't care if you're 50 years old and you meet a dude, you should have a prenup.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, it's
Even if it just simply says what I came in here with, I leave with.
that's it. And then that posting up is okay. Things that we gain together, then that's what we have to, split. You know.
Right.
Um,
And then make sure the baby's always taken care of.
absolutely.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, so definitely everybody welcome in. Welcome in. 100 podcast. Got a pretty good little topic tonight. We're not gonna be here for a long time, but it'll be here for a good time. When should you talk about prenups and relationships? Maneloni, may I come in? Hey, you're more than welcome to come in. If you got something you want to add to the conversation, we keep it simple here. We don't talk over each other. We're respectful. So as long as those things can happen, we are absolutely good.
It's a safe space.
Yes.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
Hi.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm
Welcome
good.
in.
You were talking
Welcome
about
in.
prenups.
Yes, we were talking about prenups.
Well, all I can say is I was married to my husband for 12 years. I've been divorced now for 23. We did not have a prenup.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line is I got everything in the divorce.
Lucky you.
So, thank
Yeah.
you. My
Yeah.
ex-husband was the first 6 years of our marriage were great. And then after we had my son, and my son was diagnosed with autism, my
Mm-hmm.
ex-husband's whole demeanor changed. He became abusive, not only physically and mentally towards me, but he just checked out of our son's life. He did not, he blamed me for our son's autism and so on and so forth. And, you know, I'm 58 years old. I know I don't look it, I'm 58. Excuse me. But I haven't been in a relationship since my ex-husband. But if I was to get married again, I think I would do a prenup, definitely. So, yeah. Because
Absolutely.
in my divorce, I got the house and the car. I asked for no spousal support, no alimony. All I asked was for him to help me take care of our son. And all I got out of his sorry backside was $200 a month, and that just wasn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
So,
No, I definitely understand. I appreciate the you sharing with us on that. Jump into a couple of points. Um, Point number one is timing matters more than the prenup. Basically saying the timing of when you do it, it matters more. If someone brings it up after an engagement, you know, I think, in my opinion, a partner where the partner will feel blindsided at that point.
Yep.
Like now you want to bring it up later on, but you had an opportunity to bring it up in the beginning. You know, in my opinion, I think that even the person who doesn't have the most of the assets should have that conversation and should bring that conversation up and ask, hey, are you thinking about doing a prenup? A lot of times the person who has the money is the person who normally brings it up. But I think on the flip side, if a person says, I think it's very admirable for the other person who may not have the same level of assets and say, hey, is a prenup something that you're going to want me to sign? I think asking that question is something that should happen. I think the best timing of bringing up something like that is when you're talking about the long-term future, or when you're talking about finances, or when you're talking about things that's going to be required within a marriage. So I think those are the points and times where you should definitely have that conversation. Um, like a prenup shouldn't feel like a last-minute protection plan. It should be something that's just an adult conversation, in my opinion. What you guys think?
Agree with you that it should be a conversation. I think that both parties should look to see what the state has for marriage, if it's a common law or
Mm-hmm.
things like that. I don't know Manila Looney,
Manly.
Mini Manna Looney. I
Manly.
think in your day and time of getting married, they just weren't common. I think they were more common with the more wealthy. I mean, I don't know what your economic status is, but I just think that for the common people, we were more so in what was based on the marriage law. And then, with the medical condition, a lots of times with divorces, they do favor for the women because the
Well,
woman is going to take care of the child.
right.
So
Mm-hmm.
you didn't necessarily need to have a prenup. But going back to what Marlon said, yes, I think that the things have to be considered if you're marrying wealthy and they're wanting you to, whether male or female, whether they're wanting you to stay home, quit your career, then the one who's making the lesser money or risking more should ask for a prenup
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
protect themselves at the end, because you don't want to spend 15, 20 years with someone and then you get a divorce and all that time is wasted.
Exactly.
Right.
However, in my case, I'm going to be straight up honest here. I never even thought about doing a prenup. Um, because I was basically the sole breadwinner of our marriage. My ex-husband, he couldn't keep a job for less than 6 months. He was constantly changing. He was going from real estate to landscaping to surveying, all this and the other, and he just couldn't keep a job for less than 6 months. So I was a primary breadwinner until the company I worked for got sold, and I was the receptionist and the switchboard operator. They laid me off, and I haven't been back to work in over 40 years now. And but I just, if I was to do it all over again, I would definitely do a prenup, regardless of my financial status or whatever. I would still do a prenup just to protect me and to protect my son most of all, because
Mm-hmm.
when my husband and I divorced, my son was a minor, and so we had joint custody. But when my son turned 18, because my son has autism, I went to court, a petition for guardianship. My ex-husband did not fight me on it. He gave up all parental rights, and it was a done deal. I have full control over my son's his education, his health, his finances, everything. So,
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Got you. So here's another part to it, right? When it comes down to a prenup, we think about the love versus logic. So some people believe the love mindset. The love mindset is, if we love each other, why plan for divorce? Others believe the logic mindset is what was said earlier was marriage is love and a legal contract. It's a legal contract. It just depends on which one how you want to think about it. You know, how you think about it, how you put it. Bob Amanda, welcome up, sis. This creates a deep divide in relationships. Bring it here, my sister.
Oh,
Bottom.
can you pour us one too? Doggone it.
Absolutely.
Y'all got
I already have mine.
smoking Manhattans and carry-ons on.
This is a mango. This is a non-alcoholic mango mimosa. So I've already got mine.
See, I like when you come prepared. This thing here. Man.
Who did it? You did it.
I ain't do it.
Anybody, do you have a lighter? Do you have a lighter? Do you have a lighter
Yeah, I
or a
got a lighter.
torch? Okay, go around the rim with a, okay, never mind.
Hey!
I heard that pop.
Never mind.
Yes, free, seriously.
Well, all right. Somebody, I think it was Chocolate. Was it you that was having a hard time pronouncing my username, Manaluni?
No, it wasn't me.
It wasn't
It
you?
was me, Sharon.
Okay, Sharon. All right, let me explain to you the reason for my username is Manaluni. And I know a few people might laugh at this, and that's fine. I am the ultimate fan of Barry Manilow. So people like me are referred to as Manaloonies.
Okay.
So that's why.
Got it. Appreciate that.
In fact, Marlon, just to show you how much of a Manaloonie I really am, check this out.
Yeah, that's serious.
What in the Green Acres is that?
Busy. What's up,
It's
bro?
my Barry Manilow pillow, that chocolate.
You sleeping
Oh,
with Barry
okay.
Manilow, huh? Got it.
Marlon, listen, I had the privilege and the honor of meeting Barry Manilow in Vegas last year.
Hey, well, that's what's up.
I had a
Welcome
platinum
in, everybody.
VIP ticket, and I got to have VIP access, champagne reception, meet and greet, photo shoot, and front row seats.
Hey,
God bless him.
welcome
He's
back to
going through some
Outside Park.
challenges right now, so I hope he comes out okay.
Yeah.
Physically he's ready. It's just that his lungs still haven't healed from the surgery. And to be honest with you, the media is making too much of a big deal out of this. It was stage 1 cancer. They found it early enough. It had not metastasized. They removed it, but he's 82 years old. He's 82 years old, and his lungs, he just can't bounce back as fast as he used to. So that's the only reason. I mean, he's ready to perform. It's just that his doctors are saying no, he needs to take more time.
Welcome
Do
in,
you think he
everybody.
had a prenup?
Oh, I know he had one.
Hey, be a very good thing if you did.
In fact, him and his partner Gary Kiefer are in the process of getting a divorce. Thank the gods.
Oh.
So welcome in, everybody. Topic
Hey,
for
y'all.
tonight is, when should you talk about a prenup in a relationship? Everybody's kind of been giving a little opinions, in the beginning.
Before you become intimate.
Yes. I mean, you should, before those feelings start metastasizing and stuff. Number 3.
The way I see it is once the diamond's on the finger, that's when you need to start signing.
I think it's honestly, I think
it's before then.
Before that.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people wait until you're
bringing something to the
engaged.
table. You shouldn't have to worry about it. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, it shouldn't be no problem if you there for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Why buy the
Well,
why buy the diamond
that's
if
just
they're not going to
my
sign
opinion.
the prenup?
Yep.
Yep,
Yeah.
about
I
the
think it
prenup.
definitely needs to happen beforehand. Definitely needs to happen beforehand. Before the engagement. It needs to happen in the dating phase. I think it needs to happen when you realize that you want to, especially if you know, man or woman, when you realize that this person is the person that you want to be with and you want to marry this person, then it should be a conversation you should have. You should have that conversation. You owe that to yourself.
Right, but
And
I mean,
welcome up, Randy.
I've known a lot of people who have gone through that during the dating stage, and they actually end up breaking up because they, one person will say that they don't trust the other one, and vice versa. And so I think it's better to get it done when you got the rock on your finger. That's just me.
Yeah.
That's just my point of
No,
view.
no, and that's
So
what it is. This is just everybody's, different opinions. I think
yeah.
people have to choose what's best. What's good for the goose may not be good for the gander. So we go from that point. Uh, Financial transparency. What's going on, Andy? Welcome up. Welcome up. Um,
Hello, hi everyone.
Hi,
Howdy.
Andy.
Nice
Nice to
so I
meet
dropped
you.
what the
to meet you.
the topic is for tonight. So
I remember from yesterday prenups.
yeah, prenup. Cool, cool, cool. Prenup prenup conversations often reveal things couples avoid discussing,
Mm.
like right, debt, assets, business ownership.
Infidelity.
Um,
Sorry.
Talk about I like you.
child support from previous relationships, family wealth,
Mm.
financial habits. You know, prenup conversations often reveal those things. You might be dating someone and you really fall in love with this person, and then 6 months down the line, you realize that they are wealthy. You know, Biddy says prenup should be discussed before engagement ring. I'm
Absolutely.
on that same page. I'm on that same page, bro. Hey, man, you in a position busy? You want to come up, man? Kia, welcome back. Welcome in.
I mean, am I allowed to
Um,
answer? Or are you still in the
oh,
middle? Okay,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, so I'm a firm believer in prenups. And what made me, in the beginning, I did not understand it. Like, it took for me I was charging my car one day and I met this lovely woman and we were having this great conversation. And within the conversation, she was telling me how she had been married for 20 years. She found out her husband had a whole nother life, right? And they ended up
Mm,
getting a divorce. She never expected her husband and her to get a divorce after 20 years. The gentleman that she met was a chaplain in the military who had been with his wife for 15 years. And they ended up getting a divorce because she was cheating. The wife was cheating on the chaplain, right?
mm,
And so he's a disabled veteran. She's a business owner, right? She says she is kind of a lady of leisure, well to do. And she said, I told him that I wanted a prenup, right? And she didn't say the prenup from a stance of this is mine, mine, mine. She's like, I paid for his attorney. I let him pick out his own attorney. I paid for it. She was like, I just never want the optics to look like I'm taking advantage. If this doesn't work out because we didn't expect our first marriages not to work out, I don't want to start over. So let's put things in place. And so I'm like, what are the things that you all talked about? And she was like, how much debt we can carry. What does, our retirement look like? They both were older. They did not have, their children were grown. So it was a lot of hard conversations. And his whole thing was, I'm a man of God and the Bible don't really speak about this stuff. And we could just get together. And eventually, when she just was saying, like, look, we're too old to be starting over. Let's
mm,
protect ourselves because although they had known each other, they got married after a year of being together. And so she's like, if this just doesn't work, because not saying it wouldn't, she wasn't putting that in the atmosphere, but she just was like, I just want us to both feel protected.
That
And
makes
right.
even,
sense.
yeah. So for me, I agree with it. And she's like, she's not. she's not ultra wealthy. She just knows that, hey, I got, 401k, he has one, and he has this. We just want to be fair and equitable, because the person you marry is never the person you're divorcing.
Mm.
Right.
Mm.
Well,
So I
I mean, something similar to that happened to me because, I mean, I was married to my ex-husband for 12 years, and like I said, the first 6 years, no problem. The last 6 years, that's when my ex-husband's true colors come out because, first of all, I caught him cheating on me in our house.
But that's why Chocolate said you can put infidelity clauses like in prenups. So
Yep.
I'm not
Well,
opposed to any of
there was
those.
right, and there was a little bit of a twist to that though. I caught my ex-husband cheating on me with another man. So a year after the divorce, he comes out of the closet.
Cheating's cheating, no matter what it is. If you step out
Yeah.
your relationship.
But the thing is, all right, after a few years, my in-laws, my ex-husband's parents passed away. You would think that they would have left something for our son as an inheritance. They didn't leave my son one thin dime. My ex-husband used his entire inheritance to transgender. Yeah. And then my ex-husband, unfortunately, my ex-husband passed away. He took his own life. It'll be 8 years this October.
I'm sorry to
And
hear
he didn't
that.
leave it. Thank you. He didn't leave it one thin dime to my son. So when he passed away, we liquidated all of his assets, and we put everything into a special needs trust. That way, if something happens to me, my brother takes over as my son's guardian, and he has the money to take care of it.
Yeah, those
That's
are the
good. You put
hard
that in
questions
some
that we have to
excellent.
have. And then a lot of times,
Yeah.
let's be honest, like when I'm on Marlon's panel, one thing that he does talk about that I do like is vetting people before we get, because sometimes we see the red flags and we just so blinded by love.
Yep.
Love is
Yeah.
dumb, deaf, and blind.
Hmm.
All day long. All day long.
Well,
um,
comically
I think a
speaking,
prenup.
and I'm going to put this in initials. When my ex-husband transgendered, he basically went from being an SOB to a downright 100% B. And that's the truth.
Alrighty then.
And on that note, we're gonna
We're gonna move right
on.
along. Yes,
We're gonna move
let's keep
on.
this train a moving.
Keep the train moving.
Sorry.
It's
No,
okay.
you
It's
good. You
okay.
good.
You
You
perfectly
good.
fine.
Yeah. A prenup discussion can actually become a financial honesty conversation.
Elaborate on that.
So it's kind of like Andy has said. It's when you have certain conversations, you start to unravel it and reveal certain things financially that is going on in your life, right? So when you
Right.
can have financial honesty conversations, you can see, is this person even good with money? Is this person going to be able to, you know, from a woman's standpoint, is this man that has this money, is he going to be able to make sure I'm financially stable? Are he going to make sure I'm good? For a woman that has the money, is going to say, hey, you know, I got kids with this man or whatnot. He works very hard, whatnot. I make all the, I'm the breadwinner. I make the money. I want to make sure at the end of the day, she might have had some generational wealth. He didn't have the generational wealth. So it could be a conversation of, I'm gonna make sure we all good. Just because she's the woman and doesn't mean that she can't take care of him. If he's the type of man where he's still a man and he's still doing what he can do, money should not make a difference in that. If a man is still being a man, you can't help how you may get money.
If
You know what
he's
I'm saying?
being a man.
Right. That's why I said that. If he's being a man, um, which goes into my next point of talking about the power dynamics of why people be wanting a prenup. Sometimes prenups will raise deeper questions. Who has more money? Who's taking more of a financial risk?
Can everybody manage money?
That part too. Who's sacrificing their career? A prenup can also expose the imbalances that the relationship have.
Right.
You know, most people think about, oh, prenup is all about just saving it. No, it can show you and reveal certain things. You know,
Right.
somebody that marries somebody and willingly signing a prenup is saying, hey, I know I'm good. You got yours. Cool. You know, let's see how we're gonna make some more together. Let's see how
Right.
we're gonna increase our assets. Let's increase our net worth. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of financial conversations I want to have, in my opinion.
It's a good
And you would
opinion.
hope to,
And I
Yeah,
agree with it 100%.
yeah.
yeah.
And you would hope too that when the prenup is formulated and people are exposed,
Mm-hmm.
weaknesses or representatives that they bring to the table are exposed. And you would hope that, in this exposure, if everyone is good and they move forward with the marriage and the prenup does not stop you from taking care of that person through marriage or setting up things or making sure
Mm-hmm.
they're good.
Hmm.
So, and you would hope that, I mean, because just like we were saying in the beginning, or Marlon was saying in the beginning, some people think that a prenup is, a prelude to divorce, and it's not. It's
No.
it's just protecting people from pretenders and things like that. And
Right.
just like you said, which I like what you said, Marlon, it does bring out what people may not say, but they're thinking, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So I think it's a good conversation. Even if you um say, well, I won't have a prenup, but I'm thinking about getting a prenup and this is the reason why, and let's talk about it. And then at the end of the day, I don't think I'm gonna get a prenup. You may feel okay with it. You,
Mm-hmm.
I think
at best, I
post-nups are
think that you
important
should
too.
have a basic. Yeah, post-nup is good too, but I think you should, you know, um, these days with so many pretenders out there, I just think that you have to protect yourself. And it's not just money. I mean, people are out there with their name. They could be on TikTok and have 100 million, 100,000 infinity followers. And
Mm-hmm.
they could say, I want to keep my name. Just
Exactly.
simple things like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Because a lot of times some
So,
people's name can be a generational name. Like you might have somebody last name, their last name Hilton. They ain't changing their last name. They're not gonna change.
right,
It's guaranteed they all connected. You know what I'm saying? So it's a connection. Your last name Rockefeller. You're gonna keep that. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna change up certain names. Might
Right.
hyphenate, but number 5, cultural and emotional stigma behind prenups. Many people hear prenup and immediately, like we was all saying, they automatically think you're planning for failure. You don't trust me. You think I'm after your money. And that's the first thing that people will think,
Hmm.
you know. And what others, can see it as a way of protection. Believe it or not, clarity. And it's respect for both people. It's respect for both people. I respect you enough to say what you came in this relationship with. I don't want to take nothing from you. I don't want to take anything from you. I want this. Of course, I want us to be together for 100 years. So, but if something happens and we go our separate ways, I don't want to take anything from you.
Right.
But then we also go into that conversation, like you said, like you got to saying earlier, that postnuptial. Now, in all fairness, what we build together, if this doesn't work, we gonna split that thing, split it right down the middle, split it
Mm.
up.
Background noise.
Let me see. Go back. Let's do this. I'm gonna mute. I think it is. There we go.
You know, sometimes I think
I had to mute you a little on you. It was a lot of background noise. No, go ahead.
I think there's nothing wrong with also including a clause in the prenup when it comes to one's health, because the dynamics of your relationship could change if if the partner became, challenged.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
That's important. Yeah, it surely is, Chocolate. We had a conversation on another, and it could have been on this one, whether or not, I'm very open where I'm not a nurse, and I'm 63 years old, and if I was to ever get married again, I'm not going to get married. But even when I got married previously, I'm divorced now 7 years ago, I told my fiance, I'm not a nurse. You get sick. I hope you have enough, medical coverage and things like that you are going to be taken care of, because I'm not going to do it. I would be neglecting you because I am not a nurse. I will make sure that you have all the best care, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, you were on here. You were on here with
I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
I think we have to also take into account when we're a certain age, Sharon. You and I are a certain age. So we have adult children, and provisions have been made for those adult children.
Exactly.
If there's a chance that we would get married, not that I'm gonna ever get married again either, but in the event that God blesses me with another husband, which I don't think he's that cruel, but I have provisions for my adult children. I have provisions for my adult children. There's a great deal of, there are assets aside in a trust for my adult kids.
Exactly.
And even when it comes to my health, I have a DNR. Now, my last husband was not a co-signer on the fact that I have a DNR. It's like, well, you have a husband. That doesn't mean anything. I don't want to be on machines. I don't want artificial life. I don't want it. And that's my choice. Right? And I put that in my will, my living will. But you come with a partner may have a different perspective about those type of things. So it's always good to have a prenup so we can discuss these things. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
It's not always just about money. It's about, life.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my ex, we had talked about cremation, and I want to be cremated, and he said, well, I'm gonna do whatever your kids want me to do. I was like, no. It's in my will and things like that, my living will. However, just a conversation with him was, no, I'm gonna do whatever, the kids, want me to do. And it's like, no, I'm telling you now, I want to be cremated.
Right.
And it just, which is just like someone else said on here, which was very good. And I had to think about it. I don't know if that was I am Kia P, that, whom you married is not who you divorced.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The person you married is not the person you dated.
You really think so?
Yeah. The person you married is not the person you dated.
I mean, I know they send their representatives. I mean, we, not they, we sometimes send our representatives, but really? You think that?
Yeah, because the mindset changes. The mindset has to change.
People do change. You got to change.
In that aspect, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Your mindset changes from we're dating to we'll be married to we'll have kids to we'll build a house to, so your mindset evolves at the stages of a relationship grows.
Definitely. Yes. Yes.
Hey, Busy, welcome up, brother. Welcome up to the panel.
I do feel like with the prenup, some people do get defensive.
Yes.
And it should never be defensive in a conversation. If you are with somebody, you're supposed to be able to have a conversation.
Right. Yeah.
You may not be able to agree. You may, disagree, but hey.
Yeah, absolutely. Busy. What's up, brother? I know you was about to chime in. Give me this opportunity.
Yeah. I was just gonna chime in on what she said. The person you're dating is not the person you're gonna marry, and I was just gonna say yeah, because we're definitely evolving, as people, and you shouldn't be marrying the person that you're dating, and even the person that you divorce. So I definitely agree with
Hmm.
that.
Your roles change, your hats change. The
Yeah,
hats that you work under change.
yeah,
You
I
know,
agree.
but what about a post nup, Marlon?
I
When do you talk
mean,
about a post nup?
post nup. So I mean, you talk about a post nup when, let's say, when you get ready and you got married. You know what I'm saying? Sunset flower, welcome in. You got married, right? You guys, right before the point of you getting married, you say, you know what? I'm thinking about starting this business. Okay. As soon as you get married, you start this business, and if your spouse says, I don't want nothing to do with the business. That's all you run it, you handle it, you do everything. By rights at this particular point, you can say, okay, that's fine. You know, I have some questions at that point, because if you're not going to be involved in it, then are you really going to be supporting me? So if you're not going to support me, then I'm not going to let you profit off of or get assets from something that you wanted zero to do with. You know what I'm saying? You got zero to do with it.
Right.
So at that point, you got to have a post nuptial. Or let's take it in the light of to the whole point of this bringing up, talking about like with Dak, right? With that whole thing with him and his fiance, she didn't want to sign the prenup. So let's take it and say she actually signed the prenup, right? Then all of a sudden they got married. He gets this new contract. That's a conversation of whether he want to do a post nuptial or not. Of should he do a post nuptial, because now he's gonna get, let's just say for the sake of numbers, a $240 million contract. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? What what do you do? How I don't how does that conversation even go? I think it's a conversation you should definitely have, because now, you know, let's say that person is looking at the money. Oh, okay, that's cool. Some people got long waiting games. I know that you're gonna get a contract because you that guy. So I'll sign this little prenup. But that post nup, they might be like, nah. You know what I mean?
Well, that post nup could both. I mean, in the case of this gentleman who's an athlete, I think
Mm-hmm.
for anybody, if you're ever going to date or marry an athlete, you need to have a clause in the event of injury, a career ending injury, because the life is going to change after that. He's not going to be that 250 million a year earner. He can live off of what he has already earned, and he'll have some residual income. But what if it's not consistent anymore? What if we can't vacation in San Tropez every 6 months? You know what I mean? So I think that's a very healthy thing for people to do, is to do a post nup, because
Mm-hmm.
things do change. What if there was a clause that she should have 4 children in 10 years and she finds out that she can't? She can't do it. Nature went in a different direction. So I
Mm-hmm.
think post nups are extremely important.
Okay.
Life be lifing.
Yeah,
Life
and then
does
you have
life.
to, and then you, yeah, and then you do have to think about the state laws and things like that that do come into effect, because even as a postnup, if you are married, you go into a marriage and there is a business that comes up, and if you use any of the marital funds for that business, then that person has rights to that.
Right.
I mean, don't
Exactly.
quote me verbatim or anything like that, but
Mm-hmm.
and it might be a little bit more intricate, but from a layman's term, that's what it is. So, but even in a postnup, you should consider that, because even with in a divorce, that would be something that that person could take to court and say, but we did have a postnup,
Right.
Right.
you know.
Especially if
Yeah.
especially if you ran the business out of the marital residence to start, because a lot of people do that, just to get off the ground. They're using the marital
Mm-hmm.
residence as part of the business,
That's
and they
it.
get the tax write off. So, Gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but these days I advise my daughter to have a to have a prenup and a postnup. And her fiance at the time didn't understand it, but then he came on board cuz he has assets also. And then my daughter got a little bit upset because she's like, "Well, why he getting one? Because I wanted one." She started getting a little, upset about it. But
Mm-hmm.
she had to just calm down to understand that for the reasons why you want one is the reasons why, need one is the reasons why he needs one also. So
Right.
And also,
I'm
even
a
if whether it's the man or the woman that's the stay-home parent, a post-nup would be good for financial security as well. If
yeah.
if they stay at home. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Definitely agree with that, man.
I'm
Kia.
a I'm gonna play a little devil advocate in this moment because I'm kind of on the fence. I have reasons to believe that prenups are could be warranted, but then I'm just gonna flip script on a spiritual note. Why are we going through all the motions to hold on to material things that were given to you by God? They're really not yours. And if you lose them that and they were given, they will be replenished. I think just devil advocate when you go in with these pretense of I want to protect myself on both sides, that's a form of selfishness. Um in a sense. And I just said that's just, I'm torn on the
Mm-hmm.
fence. I agree and I don't agree. So I'm just how does that work? How does that work when you are trying to protect things that are material when marriage really ain't even about that?
Well, I don't know anything about the Bible. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm agnostic, but I
Mm-hmm.
know in the Bible. I don't know, but I am hoping in the Bible it says to not be stupid, and so not to say stupid, but because of lack of any other words, but that to take care of yourself. Don't be stupid and just be mindfulness. No mind at all, and just let someone take advantage of you. But
Mm-hmm.
also with the Bible, I would say that um, we flesh is comes in there. You know, again, I don't know nothing about the Bible, so
No, I get that respectfully. Respectfully.
yeah. So
Um.
if someone can interpret what I said that, or if knows the Bible, I'm sure somewhere in there it's a quote that says you got to take care of yourself in so many words. Don't be dumb. Don't be stupid. And that man, I mean God, sometimes flesh takes over.
So it is nice to be able to just be able to let go and just think nobody's gonna hurt you. I've been married twice. The first one just was not on the same level as me, and the second one, baby, he said everything under the sun to get what he needed and what he wanted. And at the end of the day, when it was time to shut it down, I was the one stuck out, trying to figure it out, trying to pay stuff off, trying to get things done. So, am I opposed to a prenup? Absolutely not, because you have to cover yourself. You know what they say, some people can handle it, but some people cannot. And that's why a lot of people commit suicide because they cannot handle the strain of trying to figure out how to get back out of the hole
Alive
that they got
themselves.
left in.
Alive themselves. You gotta say no.
And I do get that because again, I'm kind of like muddling through that in this moment now in
Mm-hmm.
life. And that's why I'm like, even if you're left with all of the things, if you guys have built on a two income from that point, and let's keep it a buck, we just this is just now becoming something more readily talked about because we're at a place where we have money to protect per se. So, and
I
and
think
and this just for me in this moment, yes, it's difficult. Yes, things
Hmm.
change. But as for me, I just believe that everything that I could have possibly lost or think that I've lost in this marriage due to my faith and what I know and the power of who I know that I am and who I belong to, God gonna replenish that tenfold. And I know
Hmm.
everybody doesn't have that, and I get that. So that's where I'm kind of like I'm on the fence with it. I'm not, saying it's wrong or it's right, but these are just my thoughts in processing. Like, what I mean, what are we doing deep inside? What is that really saying about a person that you care about? I get it. You want to protect yourself, and survival is part of a human experience. Nobody wants to be
Hmm.
left out stuck in a rut, but love is a risk. And
You know,
so if I'm protecting all the risk factors, am I really moving in love?
I think so. I think you're
so,
moving in reality. I think you're moving to protect. I think you are covereth thyself, and I think that you are. I do believe that you are weighing all the risks and taking action.
I think one of the things we also have to look at, right, and to go off on where you were saying is as far as playing the devil advocate, right? God gave us a power of discernment. God gave us the power of choice. So we make choices based upon what is for our good as well. Just like God is going to do us thing for our good. Um, so when we have that power of choice, it's not saying that we don't have faith, but God gave us our own minds to say, hey, you know what? You need to make make a choice. Make a choice and say, hey, you know what? I am going to, use what God has given me and say, I am going to protect this. And I don't think it's not a thing of, oh, I'm giving up or I want to give up or I don't love you. I don't think any of that has anything to do with in my opinion of it. I think it's just a choice. And when you make that choice is saying, I am going to protect what I have. And that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, Marlon. It's like she said earlier. That's just part of being in the flesh is having the ability to protect yourself. Physically, mentally, all that's God given. So I wouldn't say that that's a lack of having faith in God. It's like what you said, Marlon, is just having the power of discernment and having a choice and using it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that's why I don't think it's anything. I don't think it's a right or wrong. I think it's just a decision that you have to make according to what your life is and what you feel is important.
I
you
agree.
know,
I agree with that. Yes.
you know. Not everybody is gonna. If we all thought the same, all moved the same, life would be kind of boring. We got to have a difference in thoughts and everything because that's what makes us all unique. Um, but yeah, so yeah, definitely, Kia. I think that, and I hear what you're saying, and I hear what you're saying. That's a struggle because you think about your faith, and we know this. Those that are in the faith and are believers, we go, man, but God is always going to provide. I think even that with that, I think God is providing by giving us that opportunity to make a choice. You know what I'm saying? To make a choice and say, all right, I gave you this, so now are you going to choose knowing what I'm showing you? Because I believe He reveals, knowing what I'm showing you, you're going to make a choice to not protect yourself. You know what I mean?
And I get that. Like, I don't know anywhere in the word where they talk about the splitting of assets in a divorce. I don't think that that's even discussed in the word far as that go. I know divorce is he gives you the right, the certain things that you can divorce for. And in that time frame, men were the breadwinners. And so just in my
Mm-hmm.
mind, I'm thinking as he spoke so eloquently in his word, that when a man takes a wife, his heart is to be sacrificial. So how is
Mm-hmm.
that a form of sacrifice if I'm going in with these prenups and pre things? That's kind of where I'm kind of like, I don't, I'm on the fence, and I get it, because even in my situation, when the situation went left, I was like, hey, let's go to the notary, because I want to be able to keep the home. We have worked hard for the home. This is something I want to keep for the children. And
Right.
when I explained that, he was okay with that. Let's go. I'm gonna give you A, B, C, and D. I'm gonna be fair if we sell it, if we do A, B, and C, and D. And so, yeah, I get that part too, of being able to protect what you have built thus far. But that in our situation, that was collective. That was a collective sit down. This is what I want. This is where my heart is. I want to hold on to our hard work if you don't want to. Um, and we went to the notary and we made provisions for that. Did we go
Mm-hmm.
in with that in the marriage? No. So I see both sides. So I'm just kind of, like, again, playing devil advocate, just putting another perspective out there. And for those who
Absolutely.
know, yeah.
Let's see. We had a couple of comments in here. Let me run back to the comments. Sunshine says, "How do you know? How do you, as men, know what choice is right? I don't think it's something that we just know what is right. I think it's, again, being a believer. I pray about certain things, and well, not certain everything. Um, and I think that once you pray about it, you get your answer. I think God will, for me, God will reveal what I need to do. Um, but at the same time, as men, sometimes being, if you're that person and you have this particular career and making all this particular money, you know, I've seen a lot of like athletes, for example, um, wanted to kind of see where if the person that they with is truly with them for what they have. And it was a prime example. It was, what was that soccer player name? I can't remember, but he put everything in his mama name. Everything was in his mama name. So that when she decided all of a sudden, oh, you know what, for whatever reason, she wanted to just leave him, she was thinking, oh, well, I'm about to take half. And she got zero because nothing was in his name. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
And me, I'm looking at the underlining of it all. If this person does this to me, then I got this in place. If this happens to me, so is that a fear within your? I mean, it's so many things that my mind. I'm very analytical. So
Yeah.
is it that is it? Do we get these agreements because part deep inside, subconsciously, we're fearful? We fear losing what we worked hard for, so we put these things in place because of the
Hmm.
fear. And is that
I don't
really
know.
operating out of healthiness deep inside subconsciously? So it's just just really just deep
You
analytical.
know,
Throw
I
it
don't
out
know if
there.
it's fear, Kia. I think it's a thing of we're all human and we're not perfect, and people will fail you, and it's not a matter of, and it's not to say that it has to be something big or anything like that, but just in general, people will fail you. And because you recognize that and people will fail you, people are not perfect. We're human. We're going to make mistakes. It's saying, hey, if you make a mistake, I don't want to have to pay for your mistake. You know what I'm saying? If we look at it in a financial sense of, I don't want to pay for your mistake.
But you want flesh though. But you want flesh. So how can you not? If you in the pretense of being one flesh. If
Mhm.
we want flesh, then I do pay for your mistakes.
And right.
because
So
we
that's why
want.
you
So
have
we
that
can't
in place
separate.
to say,
We can't be in a marriage being separate, and that's kind of what we do subconsciously. We be in a
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
marriage, but we want to hold on to, you know, my and
Yeah.
yours. And when you really become that, when you do this marriage thing, this is just me and my pretense
yeah,
of what
yeah.
marriage, the soul analytical part. When we do marriage and become one flesh, it is literally that. It
Yeah.
is
No,
no at
I
that
agree.
point. It is no at that point. I don't want to bear your burden.
Well, the
Yeah.
courts don't really let you bear one person's burden because even in some states, in most states, your partner, your spouse's debt is your debt.
But
You
well,
know, so
well,
you do assume responsibility and you do become one, whether people want to recognize that or not. Just like if a woman is divorced or a male is divorced, I'm going to say either way. A male or woman is divorced, you can actually collect your first spouse's social security benefits. They force you to be one flesh. That's some one fleshly stuff right there. I mean, I'm kind
Mhm.
of panicked because that means that my ex-husband could get my social security
yeah,
benefits.
it
And
goes both
that's
ways.
only if you've been married. That's only if you've been married for 10 years or more.
But
Right.
I was married for 21.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
likewise. And so you definitely, again, you that could be when we go through our separation, you can negotiate that where you give me this and then I won't go after your 401k when it's time to retire. All of those things are negotiable, but to go into the relationship already negotiating the end and then knowing that our words, and this is just me knowing how we operate, how what so is above, so is below. So just like there's court on the physical, and this is just a spiritual aspect. So just as there's court in the physical, there's court in the spiritual as well. And so what I speak, I therefore manifest. So if I'm going in speaking and preparing for that, knowing how the universe works, if you want to go with universal theory, what I give out, what I speak out returns back to me. So that's what I'm saying. It's just so many factors that goes into what we say and do, and the response of that, knowingly and unknowingly. So that's why I'm
Most
kind of on the
definitely.
fence with a prenup.
Most.
I can see where it could be beneficial if you make all of this money, and but again, what are you idolizing? You're idolizing your assets over love. God is love.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. It's just a lot,
Hmm.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a
It
lot
is.
to unpack. A lot of that, because, and I hear what you're saying, right? And I can only speak from my own perspective. I don't idolize my assets or my
And I'm
money.
sorry, I don't want to ruffle nobody's feathers, but that's just
No,
my
no,
train of thought. Yeah.
no.
No,
We all grown.
you're
We
perfectly
grown. We having
fine.
Oh
discussion.
yeah, you're
We grown. We
fine.
having discussion.
Oh yeah.
I don't think for me, I don't see it being I'm idolizing these particular assets and things I have. I think it's being realistic, being real, and saying, "Hey, there may be you may have a moment, you may have a human moment where you say, for whatever day, you might wake up, be upset, you might go trip, slip, and fall on somebody's lap or something, and then you feel bad about it, and then all of a sudden now it's like, okay, I messed up, but I because I messed up, you still should be paying for this mess up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
How many
Like,
punishments for
have
one
had that,
crime?
huh?
How many punishments for one crime?
Yeah.
And then that goes back to when we do this thing called marriage, which a lot of people do it because they just want the marriage. That's how serious that we need to take when we take a partner, in
Yeah.
knowing that
Mhm.
this is what we are supposed to be doing. It can't be no, oh, I don't want to bear your burden when I take a wife or a
Right.
husband. You have to go in it with the full situation, like being husband minded, one wife minded, and not just wanting because it comes with that. Like she said, you 10 years, regardless if you in this case, he got access to the pension, to the 401k, whether I be with him or not, because we didn't went past 10 years.
Yep.
Who say that? You know what I'm saying? Like who teach that? It's serious like that, you know. Then on top of all of you done been with this person for so long, now you got to reprogram per each year that you've been with this person. You got to reprogram 1 or 2.5 just to decompress from every year you done been with them. So it's just a lot. We need to really teach the seriousness of taking a partner and what that really is, and it's not just something to be done. Because I'm gonna tell you, and if you've been married, was it what you thought? Especially as a woman, was it what you thought? Was it what you
Yeah.
thought? Was
Mine was actually very surprising. I was very surprised because when I got divorced, I'm sorry. When I got divorced, I didn't want anything. I just wanted him to, provide for our daughters. And when our daughters turned a certain age, I didn't know the house that we lived in, he actually put it in our daughters' names. So the deed was transferred over to our daughter's name, so they would have the house. That
your
was
marriage what you thought?
was my marriage what I thought. No offense, Marlon. He was in the military. And that 25 years of him, 27 years of him being in the Marine Corps, it changed him. He wasn't the man that I married. He didn't come back the way that he left. So that was a major factor in the end of our relationship.
So that'll be a no.
That would be a yes. That would be an emphatic no.
Right. Anybody else married? Keep it a buck, because I know mine's a no. It was not. It turned out to be a no.
Yeah, no, I've been married twice, and
Yeah.
neither one was what I thought it was going to be. But I'm sure men can say that also.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I wasn't the same person. I was not the same person because I had
You've
to.
already established that who your fiance is not the man you married. So no one remains the same just by evolving.
Right.
Yeah, but they can choose to evolve to be better, and a lot of it didn't
Sure.
get
Right.
better. Yeah.
And that's where I was going with it. Like, who I was in my past marriage is not who I am now.
Right.
Who I am in my current marriage, I'm evolving into, a whole more aware person,
Right.
because again, with marriage, there are lessons. Whether if that just not just marriage, relationships in general.
Right.
Every relationship is a lesson. Now, what you learn and what you take from that is what you take from it. So it takes me to Sunshine's question here in the comments. For those that are currently married, what are the benefits of marriage? Well, right now I'm the only person up here married, so I'll answer that question. So
Yes, you are.
The benefit, the benefits of marriage, right? It's again kind of like everybody was saying. It's a contract. It's protection for both parties. That a marriage is protection for both parties. God forbid I leave this earth tomorrow. If I was not married, if that was just my girlfriend or my fiance, she gets the system is not going to allow her to have anything.
Nothing.
They don't care. They don't care. But within the marriage, one of the biggest benefits is one, you're making a choice to say, I want to spend my life. That's a benefit to say that, hey, you chose me. You chose to say that you want to spend your life. That's the biggest benefit. The second one is if something happens, you want somebody that's going to be there to be able to make choices and decisions on your behalf if you can't, or it's not spelled out in like a living will or something like that. Especially like, when we have those dark times of like we had during like COVID, right? People was going left and right. And a lot of people didn't have things in place. Something in place to say, hey, people started fighting when people was moving on, passing on. You had families fighting over what somebody had because this person wasn't married. Marriage will supersede a lot of things that happen. A lot of things that get caught up in like probate and stuff won't necessarily get caught up in probate because a lot of the state laws, you have to know your own laws within your own states and whatnot. I encourage everyone to look into that because every state is different. But like I know here in Texas, if something happened and you know I pass away, my wife passed away, things that we have, assets we have together, stays with the other spouse. Because you might have where the kids might say, "Oh well, I want it," or you might have this brother or sister, "Oh, I want it, I got it." No, marriage is that covenant, of course, that you make for God, but it also protects you. It's a protection. That's the benefits of marriage. What else? Mad Hatter asks, "What's a universal theory?" Mad Hatter says, "Protecting yourself." Oh, what? Who laughed? Oh, I don't know who laughed. That was just a figment of speech. Sunshine says, "I think single sounds great." Sunset Flower says, "I will be out so fast, not looking back." Yep. Uh, uh, Desprecia said, "Man should not live alone." Yeah.
It's not the natural order according to scripture.
Yeah, not the natural order according to scripture. Marriage sounds like slavery.
It's not slavery.
It's not slavery. I mean, and I think everyone, even up here, and correct me if I'm wrong, did anyone's marriage feel like slavery?
No. And I've never been a slave, so I can't compare it.
There you go. I mean, even though we act like we, going on the plantation every day,
It's the joke.
going to work. Yeah, man, I'm gonna get my 40 acres and mule, but
Well,
no,
100 pounds of
marriage is not-
rice.
right. Marriage is not slavery. Marriage is, at the end of the day, marriage is a choice.
Right.
You're choosing to say that I am wanting to be with this person. It's a choice.
It's a beautiful thing if you work it. It's a beautiful,
It's a
beautiful
beautiful thing,
dance if you
man.
work it.
Certainly,
Yeah.
it
It's
is.
the most beautifulest thing to witness when people are looking on, and it's the most
Yeah.
beautiful thing to be a part of if you are in it. It is a
Mhm.
beautiful sight, and if you find it, hold it, keep it. Know how to vet well, and that's what we all seek. And I made a post the other day. God told us to love each other because he knew that we would seek love from each other. So be love, like real talk. Show up authentic, get healed so you can be your best self and find your best person.
And marriage only is effective. Marriage is only effective and only can be enjoyed when there is more selflessness than selfishness.
Right.
Absolutely. It's a
Also, too,
selfless
I think the
act.
benefits. Go ahead, I am King P.
I'm sorry, I just was chiming in with chocolate. It is a selfless act every single day. You have to die to self, literally. And you have to be willing to do that. But you should, and that's where the word come in, because you're supposed to be already dying to self anyway. So if you're doing that already, when you find your person already dying and sacrificing, you should already be used to doing that. So that is not a strain. It's not something new. It's already been practiced, because practice make perfect as you can be. So that's, yeah. It's all about growth and learning, but it's
So,
worth
As
it.
far as the benefits, I think benefits of marriage are subjective, and they also are per person on what they deem as a benefit. So everyone would see it differently.
right.
I believe.
So somebody said in the comments, they said, but marriage can be done without the courts. Choosing doesn't require governmental intervention. Let me just let you know this. I think that's still Sir Lloyd. Okay. In the event that you are with somebody and you may live with them for 20, 30, 40 years, in the event that that person expires, and I'm talking about the final nap, you are not allowed to touch that person's body. You are not allowed to sign that person out of the morgue. You are not allowed to even, you have no rights to that person at all. They don't care whether you live together for 1,001 years. If you are not legally bound to that person, you have no rights to that person. So why would a person stay with you through sickness and in health, and there is no binding contract? You have no rights to that person's equity, their finances, their burial, nothing. Their life insurance. They can make you the beneficiary, but if they have children or they have living parents, you're not entitled to anything unless you are the legal spouse. The legal spouse is your next of kin. Once you get married, doesn't matter how you got 15 kids by 15 women, as long as you have a legal breathing spouse, your spouse overrides everybody else.
Everything.
And everybody else
Everything.
got to take a back seat to that spouse.
Yep. Yep.
That's well, that I mean, I'm just saying, because everybody talking about the paper doesn't matter. The paper matters. The paper
Right.
matters. The paper
Paper makes
matters
a
when you've been
difference.
living with somebody and you have no rights to talk about whether they're on a breathing machine or not. The paper matters. When that house that person owned, you lived in that house and y'all live together. But when it's time that person expires, you get put out of that house because you ain't got no paper.
Your license matter, your ID matter, your marriage
All of
got to
it.
have paperwork. You're
All
gonna
of
have
it.
to have paperwork. It's
So I
just
can
what it
see
is.
where a prenup, is a two-edged sword for some people. I think that it could be helpful if you address it and attack it the right way. And you can, like I said in the beginning, you can just make it very simple. Even like with I am Kia P,
Thank
you
you.
don't. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I ain't know my thing was on.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to make it down to assets or anything like that, but it can just simply be down to
Your health proxy. It could be anything.
yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah.
can be anything because before the prenup, you have the will. And even if you don't have a prenup, and then even in the will, if you say I want to leave all my money to the dog, or if I want to leave all my money to so and so, it can be done like that.
But it could also
Yeah,
be contested in a
that,
will.
but
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to come up. That's the only
Hey,
reason I
Sister
came
Still
up.
Lloyd, welcome up, bro.
Yeah, I was
Welcome
about to
up.
say, well, thank you for having me up, host. Appreciations to everybody on the panel. Um, yeah, that was me in the comments that made that, that wrote that. I just want to say I never said paper doesn't matter. I know you didn't put that on me. I just wanted to make sure everybody know I never said the paper doesn't matter. My thing is that papers can be done without it actually being marriage to cover everything that you named. You can have contractual agreements without it actually being technically a marriage. Like you said, you can go to a lawyer and get anything set up through trust and funds and wills. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's all these
Right.
documentations out here. You can do that other than actually having a document marriage certificate. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like everything can be
That is true.
covered
That is true.
contractually to what you said, in another way. So
You
I'm just
right.
not I only say this because I'm married. Let me say I'm married. You know what I'm saying? Now I ain't gonna tell you, and I've been married twice. The second time I really didn't want to do it, and I never really said that like out loud, but I understood why she wanted to do it, so that's why I did it. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, that's terrible.
No, it isn't because I respected her that much. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
but don't put it off on her. You wanted to get married.
No, I didn't want to. I didn't want to get married, but I didn't want the contractual agreement as far as governmental type stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like
Do
I
you
wanted
have
to
a
be.
driver's license?
No.
I got one. I don't even agree with all that because I've been doing my research and stuff on that and understanding what our name means and different, whether it's all capital letters, but that's a whole nother different thing.
No,
And
but I'm just saying it's
maritime
Yeah,
like
law,
we not
we
gonna
maritime
break it down.
laws,
No, no,
and
no. The reason why I was asking is because we always break it down when we're talking about marriage, and we always try to minimize the
Right.
I'm
validity of marriage.
I'm
It's
not
like,
minimizing though.
no, let me just land. Sometimes people do minimize the value of marriage. Oh, it's just a piece of paper. Oh, we don't want to be bound by this piece of paper. We're bound from paper from the time that we're born. From the time that we get a birth certificate, we're bound by a government document. So I'm not understanding, why do we fight so hard against the ideology of marriage when you are legitimizing your relationship? In most states now, under this new 2025 thing, If your child is not born under your marriage, the father doesn't even have to pay child support. If he is not married to the mother, he does not have to pay child support. I mean, everybody gonna have to start reading their state rules and laws the way that it applies, but that is crazy to me.
But nothing you said actually attracts a man to what you said.
Well, sweet,
I'm
it
not
doesn't
good.
have to
No, I'm
attract.
not. And I'm not.
It doesn't have to attract. That was not the concept. That was not the premise of what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this: we can't sit there and pick and choose when we want to legitimize stuff. You know, I'll buy a house with my partner, but I don't want to marry her. I'll give her a bunch of house full of kids, but I don't want to marry her. You know, you can't pick and choose your commitment level.
Why can't you? You're your own human being. I'm not
Because
here to tell. I'm not. Look,
I
hold on. I just want to
young
say I'm not
women.
here to tell anybody what to do.
No,
You see
that's
what I'm
true.
saying? Everybody is their own person. See, I think we got to understand that. And there's some people that don't believe in certain things, and you're gonna force. You're saying this is how it got to be, and I don't think anything got to be. Everybody has a choice. God gave us that. So to say that, you know what I'm saying, how you're saying it and wording it is like, if you don't do this, you're less of a person, you know, your
I
commitment
didn't
level.
say that.
No, what you say is you keep bringing up the contractual agreement and money and funding. A good person gonna do that anyway,
And
because they know their
legitimizing.
responsibilities, they know their obligations. A real person is gonna. I didn't even say a real man. I said a real person. You see what I'm saying? Like the spirit of a person is gonna do that anyway and take care of their responsibilities and their obligations. You don't necessarily need the government to intervene in that, because if you're a real person, you're gonna take care of that anyway. So you know what I'm saying? That's irregardless. I hate to say
But yet
irregardless because that's not a
again,
word, but regardless.
It's for tax purposes. Even for the state, it's all documentation. Basically, it's a spiritual act that man has put his hands in, which the government, when I say that, so that it is also a contractual holding in the land. So you are to obey the laws of the land as well. And
But like,
that's saying that if you can take this woman and do what you want to do in private, you have to be able to honor her in public. And that's what the courts is. They are considered the public. And so that's where that comes in. It's a spiritual act, but it's also part of the public, if that makes sense. And
No,
it
that
should
makes
it, it
that
should
makes
it
sense.
should be honorable, because at a time we could not have a certificate as African Americans. So I don't understand why we don't, when we find our person, want to take pride in going to get the paper. Because at some point, do you know people fought for us to be able to do that? They died and hung for us to be able to have the right to be considered. So just throwing that out there.
No,
and
I
in
got
some
you.
states, I'm
Hold up for one
sorry. I just
second. Hold up one
okay.
second. I want to make sure because I know I'm sitting here looking at like 44 comments, and I want to make sure I
Oh,
give everybody, yeah. So, um, let's see. Desprecia says she wanted to hear Busy Bee's input. The lover girl in me, Sunshine says the lover girl in me likes the idea of marriage, but hearing these stories, yikes! Speak up, man. God, okay. Um, Sunset Flower said marriage is not scary. It takes two to make it work. Appreciate Sir Lloyd for letting me know that he's married. Um, Needing an old fashioned every night. Yeah, I do. Allure said the biggest benefit is not spending your life alone. Okay. Um, Sunshine says, someone who tolerates you long enough to be a hospice wife or husband.
mm.
tolerate is wild.
I'm stuck on hospice.
I think people. I mean, I think with words, we all may say words, but everybody has their own.
I know what they mean.
Everybody
I'm
has
just
their
saying,
own.
yeah, I know what they mean.
Yeah. Aisha on the mind says everything you mentioned, a male or a female can write that in living will, and it counts. Count just what Sir Lloyd was saying right there. Comments from y'all talking about being on somebody. The job is not okay. Okay, I got your comments. Marriage is not a chore. Boom, boom. I'm seeing all these. A lot of these is Sir Lord already had um expressed. Jackie will say truth. My husband, passed away in 2021.
Sorry.
Definitely sorry to hear that, Jackie.
Definitely.
Um, Technical Myth said, I get married in a month, and these lives have helped me a lot with things for us to think and talk about. Hey, that's
Yay.
anybody who knows, that's what my whole purpose is. I want people to, and that's why I keep this panel where I don't have all that rah-rah, all that nonsense and stuff. I be serious about my content. I want people to take something from it, because a lot of times, especially in our community, we don't have certain conversations, and I want us to start having these conversations, so that we can, be a better abreast and knowledgeable of different situations. I see you later. Sunset, have a good night. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, Ohio is proposing a law that conception starts at ejaculation. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, let's see. Boom, boom, boom. I think no judgment. Old fashioned. Thank you all. Very fruitful conversation. Glad to be here. Please come back again, Jackie. Come back again if you're still here. All right. Thank you guys for allowing me to catch up with the comments. Chocolate, you was about to say something. Go
Yeah,
for it.
when we're talking about, relationships and interacting with our partners and mates, there are laws on the book where a person, you cannot take a woman across state lines if that is not your wife. It's called the Mann Act, and it was established during the Prohibition years, when men were just transporting women and having relations with them and stuff like that. That law has not been abolished. That law is still on the books. So
That's
there,
what Diddy got cited for.
Mm-hmm.
Criminal
Dwayne
justice
Johnson, and that was him
major.
and that white lady.
Yeah, criminal justice
Yeah.
major. You are absolutely right, Chocolate.
thank you.
These laws, they never get abolished. They just get amended. And
Yep.
amendments can
Mm-hmm.
always be changed if you have a good, that's what lawyers do. They go back into these laws and they find loopholes. So it's all about your representation. There's so many laws that's not practiced. And as you see, when they get ready to pull one out their butt that they want to
Yep.
enforce, they will do
Sure
just
can.
that. And so that's what they are doing. And not only that, under the pretense of Christian, they want to go back and make sure everybody is accountable for their seed now, because there's too many single parents out here and men not being responsible and accountable. And this is our society. And so this is their way, quote unquote, of cracking down. And so, yeah, you're going to be accountable whether you want to or not, where you lay your seed and how many children you procreate. And I mean, it's tightening up. It's tightening up, and it's tightening up for the women. We can't go and get rid of kids when we want to, and things of that nature, without doing extra precautions and whatnot. So it's coming to that, all under the pretense of peace.
But even
So
with that,
yeah,
even
yeah,
with
it's
that, Kia, you know that we can't even get sterilized. Married women cannot get sterilized in certain states unless their husbands approve of it.
And men cannot get
Mm-hmm.
vasectomies without the
The
wife
wife's approval. That's
approving it
right.
also.
Yep.
So
That's right.
it goes both
Mm-hmm.
ways.
That's right.
Is
that's what
that
I'm
supposed to
saying.
be?
They're
Oh, okay.
cracking
Hold on. Because we switched gears a little bit, at least in my mind. Let me go back and let me refresh. Now, at one time we was congratulating the laws, and now it seems like we're demonizing the laws.
No,
So
we're not
that,
demonizing, but we're bringing it to the forefront because there are a lot of things. People are moving and don't
but
realize
these,
that there are laws
Next
that,
level. What's up?
okay,
you know,
hold on. I just want to say but we was just pointing out negatives upon laws, right? We went from talking about the good things about laws, and then we just switched to some negatives about
no,
laws,
it's not
right?
negative. It's just saying that that piece of paper means a lot. That
But
piece
No,
of
we
paper to
don't
be
yeah,
have
you
married
said
means a lot.
That's what she
the
was
piece of paper
saying.
means control.
No, the piece of paper
no,
means
it's
I
not
mean,
negative.
hold on. That's not negatively. That's not. Let's not use control to be a negative thing always.
Oh, we're not. Well, I'm
You
not.
can control the
I'm not.
situation. If you have the paperwork, y'all basically say if you have the paperwork, you can control the situation that may happen. That may not. They may can go bad or good depending on if you have the paper or not.
no, but depending on if you have the paper or not, it's a win-win situation. You have the paper, it's a win-win. You don't, it's a
Right.
If
lose-lose.
I wanted to get a
Period.
vasectomy and my wife don't want me to get one,
Then you can't
or if
have
you
one.
You
wanted to have
can't
an
have
abortion
one.
and the guy doesn't want you to get one,
You
You,
can't have
Can't
one if
have
y'all
one.
married.
That's against your will. You
You
No,
don't think
can't
that's
because
have
that's
one.
illegal?
one
You are one
flesh.
That's
flesh.
control.
You
No,
are
that's
one
one. That's the
flesh.
word,
You're
babe.
controlling my decision.
No,
You
that's
are
the
one
word, hun.
flesh. You
See,
got to
that's the
lock in step
spiritual
with your mate.
aspect of marriage. That's the spiritual aspect of marriage. And then we want to have a legalism aspect of it too by saying, no, it's my body. I can. No, your body
No,
ain't even yours to tell your husband no once you become married. We have to come into agreement that I ain't gonna do this with you tonight because I'm in prayer. Y'all better get in y'all word and
And
quit
then
playing.
also,
so
sir,
everything is a
sir, still,
conversation, and we have to realize that everything is a conversation.
Well, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Marvin.
there
I
might
just,
be
I get
laws and stuff
passionate. I
in
get
place.
passionate.
No,
That's what I'm
no,
saying. We going
and I
from
get
human laws to spiritual
everything.
laws, and I think that
Hold on one
everything
but
second.
they're
should.
Hold on
kind of
one second, baby.
combined.
They both.
Hold on one second.
What?
Let me
They're kind
Yes,
of
hold up one
combined.
second.
Yes.
yes,
These
Hold up
white
one
man
second.
laws kind of combined
Hold
with
up
the
hold
one
on, you
God.
second.
guys. Hold on.
Hold
yes.
up
Stop.
one
Land your
second.
planes. Land your planes.
Hold up one second. What I'm saying is a lot of things, a way that we can and understand a whole lot of different things is to have conversations. I think at points, what we forget is to have a conversation. There might be so many different laws that's in these books and everything, but the conversation you have within your home about things, that's what you got to have. We can't
Right.
sit here and worry about what's in these particular law books from laws that was written from whatever whenever. A lot of that doesn't even make a difference. It's the conversation that you and the person that you with have, and you say, "Hey, let's have a conversation about this. I understand what's your perspective." Sometimes it's taking consideration to hear why the other person may not want you to do certain things. We can't sit here and not just go off of what the laws are. Let's have a conversation to understand each other is the why. The why behind why don't my husband want me to have an abortion? Why doesn't my wife want me to have a second? Let's have a conversation and not go so deep off the edge into what the laws are about it. Talk to the person. You know, I don't want us to get so wrapped up into this because we actually going off the topic a little bit on talking about this, but the topic tonight is about prenups. So
Oh, apologies. I came in on this. I heard somebody. I saw somebody talking about prenups down there, and I had no idea. My bad.
yeah, no, you good, bro, you good, and that's why I wanted to reel it back in so that we, you know, not go off on a tangent and
Basically,
everything about
The Dak Prescott thing.
exactly. That's
Okay,
exact. So you've seen it. So that's what maybe saying like especially us in our community, we need to have these kind of conversations
I
and
would love to
understand.
hear what y'all said on that. I'll be quiet.
Hey,
I'll mute. I love to hear what everybody said on that one, and I'll
well,
mute
you
to
know
the
what?
end.
Up in my
Well,
profile, I got this thing. I'm gonna upload it, so it'll be there.
Marlon, just to piggyback on what you just said earlier on, is that, just to rile up that we just had about, getting into the word and things like that, it can it can open the doors. The conversation about a prenup can open the doors about how
Yes.
someone feels about something, to put it in a prenup. And then
Hmm.
you may find out, like you was asking, when is the best time to talk about a prenup, bring it up. It's as soon as you feel as though you may want to talk, ask this person to be your spouse. You need to bring that up in conversation, because you may differ on lots of things and
Hmm.
find out that that's just not your person.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything is a conversation. I think, especially in our society today, we are so hell bent on not having conversations because we are so afraid of what someone else may say. You know what I'm saying? We are so afraid of somebody
Someone
might not
walking
agree
away.
somebody might walk away, somebody might leave
Right.
me before this, somebody might get mad because I'm asking this. And I get we are always going to be concerned with people's feelings, but when you're thinking about the rest of your life, your livelihood, have a dang on conversation about things. Stop avoiding the tough conversations. And that a prenup is a tough conversation. It is
Right.
not a conversation for the light of heart. It's a tough conversation to have because you don't know where that person's mindset is going to be of what they may be thinking. And because you don't know, that person might say, you know what? I understand that, and I think that that is something we should do. You know what I'm saying? I think that's something we should do because
But
I
they
don't
don't know
want you
the
to feel like I'm
ramifications.
with you because of your money. I'm
Right.
with you because I love you. I could care less about your money. We can sign this prenup. But
I think
then it goes back into the conversation of talking about what a postnup is. After this marriage, though, you know, I know what's after this marriage. Once we sign that paper and we're married, I understand that if something happens between us, I just want to make sure that I'm gonna be good. If we got kids involved, I want to make sure our kids are good. Period. And I'm gonna land right there. I don't know who was getting ready to say something next, but um, let's why don't we just go around, let everybody say their what they want to say on it, and then that kind of keeps a little bit of order, because so that we all not talking over each other. So let's start with Kia. I know you was getting ready to come in, and we'll circle up from to Busy, Sir Lloyd, then Sharon, then Chocolate.
I agree with you, Marlon. Those conversations, those tough conversations, absolutely need to be had. Actually, me personally, when you think you about to marry someone, before you actually propose and ask them, will you marry me, you guys should start doing the work and seeing if y'all can even do the work together, versus asking to get married and then finding out later on that that's not your person. If you know that this, because and I think the truth is, like they say, guys know early on if that's your person or not. Don't waste time. That's just my suggestion moving forward. I think that's when we need to teach practical, applicable steps on how to get to this thing in a right and healthy way. And that's just, yeah. If you know that this is your person, start putting in the work, because you literally, it's more than just saying, do you want to marry me because you cute, you fine, you know what I'm saying? He handsome, he got a good job. It's so much more to it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the things that money cannot buy. And I'm going to land with that.
Thank you, Kia. Busy.
When it comes to the subject at hand, prenups, I don't have an issue with with prenups. Either way, I just say that should be a discussion before even get into engagement. Um, like we said, I think it's just our human ability to protect ourselves in some way, some fashion. So prenups, yeah, I'm good with them. Yeah, I'm good with them. Good without them. I just say, yeah, just do what's best for you guys. And like you said, I mean, it's a conversation. It's a hard conversation, but it's something that should be had so you guys can move forward in which direction you want to go into.
Appreciate you. All right. So Lloyd.
As I said, I'm married. I have no problem with somebody doing a prenup. If you, what I here, when you think about a thing, bring up the prenup thing. You know what I'm saying? Have that conversation. I'd like to keep things simple. So if you got a person that you connect with and physically, that branches out to a whole bunch of different things. You figure that out on your own. But I think people look at the and think, well, I ain't gonna say people look at the prenup thing. I'll say if the man has millions. We're gonna talk Dak. We're gonna talk about the situation and Dak. Dak has millions, right? He's a superstar. He's at prenup. He's at prenup. Put your own, submit your own little prenup back to him. You know what I'm saying? Like you make some adjustments in it. You know what I'm saying? And have a conversation about that as well. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thinks it's got to go one way where somebody's saying, "Oh, this is all mine," and you get nothing. No, you haven't. This is your opportunity to make a choice. like everything else is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like we make things somewhat so difficult, I think, you know what I'm saying, and don't think about that there's a polarity to things. You see what I'm saying? There's a up and there's a down. There's a left, there's a right. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't got to be 100% to zero. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'll lay on there.
All right, I appreciate that. And Miss Sharon, we got you up next, and then after Sharon, we're gonna do chocolate, and then I'm gonna shoot down to the comments. All right, Sharon, what you got?
Yeah, as far as prenups goes, I think it's all situational depending on the two people that are there. And again, it's going to be a hard conversation. I do believe that vulnerability is a strength, and therefore, I do think that you do have to be vulnerable in anything and everything that you do, especially with this, in order to get the core out, and make sure that you all are compatible, and do not be fearful of someone saying you're not my person. Again, I try to find a silver lining in anything and everything, and if that's not your person, and if they say you're not my person, there's a silver lining in that, and
Mm-hmm.
you just have to go with that and say, Exactly, we're not compatible." It beats getting down the road, agreeing to it, like Sir was saying, that I feel as though that's what she should have done also. Put in her own bargaining into that document, and go with it. So I land right there.
Appreciate it. Chocolate.
I think when you're dating, before it gets intimate, before it gets any feelings involved, you should know what this person's future plans look like. There's nothing wrong with asking the hard questions up front. And it's really an interview. I mean, really, it's an interview when you're dating. You want to know what the person's
Mm-hmm.
mindset is. What are their future plans? What are their failures? What do they want out of life? There's nothing wrong with talking about that kind of stuff and presenting a person and saying, look, if I ever become rich, I want to do a prenup with my partner. And then that gives a person an opportunity to say whether they want to rock with you or they say, I can't rock with somebody who wants to do a prenup. You're leaving the options open. And you're not waiting until the last minute when the ring is on the finger and the wedding invitations are gone out to say, hey, I want you to sign a prenup. I knew this before we even started kissing. You know what I'm saying? Before we
Right.
even held hands, I knew this is his mindset. If people try to be like-minded, I think that's when relationships will work longer. But when you try to convert somebody mid-shift, that's when you always run into an accident. And I land.
Definitely. I think we all on the same page. Believe it or not, we all just said pretty much the same thing. Is it's a conversation. Stop avoiding the conversations that we need to have. So let me check the comments right quick for you guys. Tactical Dim said they have a contract regarding the children, but we won't be doing a prenup. Hey, you gotta do whatever works for you. You know what I'm saying? No, next level we weren't frozen. Um, the counter offer piece. I mean, when Sir said that, I think it's just, again, people think a prenup is an end all be all. No, it's a conversation. You don't have to always like every single thing, but it's a conversation. Again, I hope the highlight that everyone realizes with this and can take away from it is everything can be resolved through conversation. And resolving is not necessarily saying that, oh, it's going to go my way or it's going to go this way. It's, hey, at least we had a moment and had a conversation about it. We may agree or disagree, or we may agree and say, hey, maybe that conversation brings in a different perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has in a different perspective for someone else to see that they may not have considered. Especially when you look at people who, are well off. A lot of times they don't really even know what everything says. It's their lawyers drawing up the paperwork.
Right.
They don't even read it. It's just like, oh, my lawyer's there to protect me and this, that, and other. But when they actually sit down and read it, because if you're smart, you're going to go read contracts. Don't sit here and just sign something just because this is what the person said. Read it for yourself. The best way to hide something, like they always tell people, put it in a book. Same thing in contracts, right? You build a lot together, you read, right? Slow to hire, quick to fire. So Sunshine asked Marlon, how long does it take for a man to know that a woman is the one? Man, look,
Mm.
let me tell you something. In my opinion, a man know in the first month.
I
Really?
knew it.
My
I
daddy
knew
said.
it.
My
Man,
daddy
Soon as
said the same thing. He says a
I
man knows
knew
look,
it.
exactly where he wants you in his life. He knows
Yep.
I
Soon as
look,
exactly
I
they
where he
knew.
soon as
wants you in
they
his
talk
life.
to you.
That's
Soon
why
as
Right.
they
she.
talk.
That's why I tell her it's
Is it,
different for each man. I said down there it's
yeah,
different
because
for
I
each
was
man.
gonna say, is it
Uh,
because men
Yeah.
are simple?
well, no,
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 they're
we
just
look at certain
strategic, but
things.
they know
you
what
were
they want.
strategic.
They know what they
Strategic.
Yeah.
want.
Well,
A man knows what he wants, and when a man sees the particular quality that's going to be aligned with his life, he's gonna go right for it.
keyword
And I mean,
quality. He just said.
sometimes, yeah, yeah. When I see that alignment, man, and that alignment may see it in a
In the
month.
first month?
Yes.
Yeah,
Look,
I
yeah.
mine didn't happen
Yes.
in the first
So,
month though.
so Shannon, when I say the first month, in that first month, I may know I want to marry you. That doesn't mean I'm gonna go marry you the next day.
Of
That's
Right.
course
saying that
not.
I see this. So then I'm gonna be in my observation period because I'm seeing something that I like, and I'm like,
Okay, I can get
okay.
that. I can get with
So
that.
you know,
I can dig it.
That keeps us
three
there
months,
to
3 months down the
achieve.
line, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be like, yeah, I'm asking you to marry me because I'm not a procrastinator. I'm not a time waster. When I see something I want, I go get it. I'm not a
Men are
window shopper.
hunters.
Sir
You know what I'm
Lloyd,
saying?
how long did it take you to know when you got that was your wife? How long did it take you to know? How long did it take you to marry her? How long did it take you to know that your wife was your wife when from meeting her? Sir
I
Lloyd.
knew instant. I knew
I don't know
instant.
the exact. Well, I say less than a year.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
Sir Lloyd didn't want to marry the woman that he's with now.
No,
He
hold on,
just
hold on. You
asked
saying
her.
that
No,
wrong?
let's
You
not do
saying that
that.
wrong? You
No,
back
no,
up,
no,
back
no.
up. You saying that
He
wrong? You
didn't.
I'm
He
saying
didn't
that
say
sorry.
that,
real
I'm
wrong.
Sharon. He
sorry.
didn't
I
say
He
that.
didn't say that.
apologize.
He said he didn't want the contract. He wanted the
Yeah, he
man,
didn't
he
want the
didn't want the
contract.
contract.
Oh,
He
Hmm
wanted
okay.
her.
We got to get
Sorry.
things
Yeah,
straight,
he
bro.
never
Okay.
Yeah,
said
we
he didn't
got
want to
I'm
marry
a,
her.
I'm an
He just
I
said
active
he
didn't.
was patient.
listener.
I didn't
Yeah.
want to get
Okay,
like you
I
said.
sorry.
got
You
you,
put
Lloyd.
the hairs up on me right there. I was like, whoa, got the
Well,
I got you, Lloyd. I
isn't
got
the isn't the contract marriage?
whoa. Whoa.
No, look, we ain't gonna go into that one.
Okay,
That's we
okay.
gotta remember. Everybody do
Yeah, I'm
how
gonna
they
leave
want to
that
do.
one. I'm gonna leave that
Okay.
one.
Look,
All
I do
right.
want
Yeah,
to add
everybody
this. I
do how
want
they
to add
want to
this,
do.
and then I ain't gonna be long because I'm an active listener too. I like to listen, even though I do love to talk. Don't get me wrong, but I just want to say everything is a conversation. Like you were saying, is it Marlon? I don't want to say it wrong,
Yeah.
Marlon. But there's a key point I think that people kind of miss. Yes, there's a conversation, and you can agree to disagree within that conversation. But I think the most important thing in every conversation is observation after the conversation.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
Conversation,
yeah.
people talk like a motherfucker. But what are you going to,
Ch-
well, how do you try to change, or what percentage of implementation and the respect that you have for what I said to where you're going to actively try to incorporate what
well,
was said
Yeah.
in the conversation?
talk is cheap. That's always been a thing.
So that's what I'm saying. The most important, the conversation just
Yeah.
definitely needed because because there's no action until the conversation happens. But
Okay.
where's the action? Where's the verb? You see what I'm saying? Like every sentence needs a verb,
Action is wisdom.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom is not the knowledge you possess. That's
It
just
don't
the
mean
knowledge
shit till
you
you put it into
acquire.
action.
Wisdom
Mm-hmm.
is the action of the knowledge.
There we
That's
go.
wisdom.
I got it
So
tattooed on my arm, baby.
that's just what it is. And I'm glad we were able, you brought that to the forefront because then this is a teachable moment for who's ever listening. Because again, this is something I've acquired in my time. We think that, wisdom is a gain of knowledge and we wise. No, it is the action of the knowledge. So
Mm-hmm.
I just want to throw that out there.
But if I
No,
had
no,
1,000
definitely
coins right
appreciate
now,
that.
you have them all right now, Kill
Yeah.
P. Because believe me, that is very,
Apologetic
very
Christian
important.
left in the comments said he does, and there are many distractions these days. Sunshine says so. Basically, a man will make moves that align to where he sees you in his life, working from the first month. Absolutely, absolutely. So if a guy isn't moving things forward after the first month, move on. So again,
Yep.
you gotta see for coming from a man's standpoint, we're looking for certain things, certain men are looking for, I would say, and for the core of what a man is looking for, a core is, are you going to be my neck? And when I say my neck, I mean, if I'm the head, I need to know if you're going to be my neck, because when I can't see what's behind me, I need you to be able to turn and see and make sure I'm good. I need you to be there to support me, because if I'm going to be the head of this house, I need to know that the person that I'm with is going to support me. I need to know that you got my back when, this world is coming at me, as well as I'm going to make sure you're good. So that's one of the first characteristics that a man is looking for, in my opinion, is I need to know that you're going to support me. I need to know that if
Hey,
I'm at
I'm
my,
in hold
if
up.
I'm at my
Marlon, look
lowest,
what I wrote.
what? I ain't even see it. I'll catch it in just a second.
You
I
need
want to
a
know.
neck and a shoulder.
Oh, see, I ain't even get to I'm up here at
Be,
Sunshine comments. I'm going through the comments. So,
look, be a
as a
neck
man,
and
I
a
want to know.
shoulder. Be a neck and a
Yeah,
shoulder.
there you go.
Did you all? I'm sorry. Did you all know that in some cultures we've thought that when females walk behind their men in Middle Eastern cultures, it's not because she's subservient. It's because she is supposed to protect his back. She's
Yep.
supposed to look out for the enemies that are coming at him where he can't see. And he's supposed to protect the enemies coming at her that she can't see.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's why there's an order
Powerful.
when a man is walking down the road. One of the things that just and I like saying this phrase, chaps my ass when I see a man walking.
Tapping the
Oh,
ass.
no, I say chaps my
Chap.
ass.
I
Taps
know
my
I
Oh,
know
ass.
what you about to say too. I know
sorry.
what you
I
about
ain't
to
gonna lie. I
say.
heard taps too. I was like, what?
Thank
I
you.
stopped typing my damn message.
I know what he's going to say too, and I taught my son, and I told my son that, and I also treat my daughter like that and my granddaughter when we're together.
So go ahead and
For
teach
him
him,
to
Yeah.
work,
Marlon.
for him to work on the outside.
Yeah, he
Go
Yeah,
need.
ahead and teach
definitely.
him.
When I see a woman walking on the outside and towards where the traffic is at, and I see the man walking on the inside, that bothers me. It bothers me when I see a woman get outside and pump the gas, and a man sitting in the car. It bothers me
Me
when I see
too.
a man get out the car and walk to the door, and his woman is sitting there and have to open her own door. That bothers
Me
me.
too.
You know what I'm saying? I think there's certain level of men. I'm not sitting here saying that every man needs to know how to change a tire, but guess what? If you don't, you better have AAA.
Yeah.
But I will tell you,
I'm
that's
gonna
the
I'm gonna
importance of
go
having
so
a
far.
father too. That's the importance of having a father, because my daddy told
But
me
you
when
know
I was a
what?
little
I'm not
girl.
even going to say,
It
not
is.
saying
That's who
necessarily,
taught
even
me
if you
too,
don't have a
chocolate.
father.
That's who taught me too. My dad.
My daddy
And,
taught me,
and
don't you
look,
ever, my daddy said, you stand right there. You stand in front of that door. Don't you touch no doorknob.
yeah.
You don't touch no
That part.
handle. And if you stand there for 10 days, you stand right the hell there. Don't you touch it if you walking with no man.
But see, you know what? It's not always, even because not every household is going to have the privilege of having the father in the house, right?
I
That's why
did
we
not.
here.
But
I did not. I did
there's
not have that growing up, and I
right. So
learned.
not
I
everybody's
learned
going to
that.
have that, but there's a responsibility for, in my opinion, if again, my opinion don't, it's not something you have to like, go co-sign to or like. It's my opinion that if you are, like a single woman, you're raising your kids and whatnot, but if you're gonna have somebody around them to teach them certain things, have somebody around them that can just show them certain things. If you're not showing them yourself
And
or telling
listening,
them yourself,
and listening on what they're teaching them.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
because these
uh,
are the things that go along with life when you get ready to get down to certain points, because what you are taught will take you to the next step of understanding, even when it comes down to a prenup. All of that ties into it.
Do. You do.
All of it ties into it.
All things are negotiable.
I
All
want.
things.
You're right. That part too. I wanted to intercept and say, the opening the door and all that stuff right there. That I just want to say to the men, any men listening, and women. I guess women here too, but I'm just saying to any men listening, understand that should come naturally. I know we're talking about teaching our kids and everything, and that's great. You should show them that and teach them that it show to our boys to show how to respect women and how to the chivalry and all of that, definitely. But And I know
And that's the
some
thing.
people say, but it dismisses everything before. But I'm not dismissing that. I'm just saying that when you do that, there's a want. It shouldn't feel like you're just doing it because you find somebody that doesn't. When you do it, they appreciate it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? There's a process to things. I think people we miss
Mm-hmm.
that builds up to this love and asking somebody to marry them. Because when you don't do it, are you going to get an attitude? When I don't
Yeah.
do this, are you going to start thinking that I'm doing something else outside and get in your head and start thinking, oh, my granddaddy told me so if you don't do this and then this, yeah, hold up, I'm my own damn man here.
Yeah.
No disrespect
Yeah.
to your granddaddy or your daddy or your uncles and everything, your cousins, but I am me. Maybe this one time I'm thinking about something, didn't think to do that. Can you open the door and get in the car so we can dip? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna sit there, or I
Mm-hmm.
gotta come over here and do this before we leave, and then you got an attitude. We going down the street, like,
I
yeah.
could
See,
teach you because
then
maybe you didn't have that
this is why we
exposure.
don't want a contractual agreement.
But you know something, you are in one, so you are the last to speak, darling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I think
okay.
that it goes back to be to honoring. It goes back to honoring the woman or the essence of the woman of which we come from.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't want to use the word rite of passage, but it's an expression of manhood to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's more so what it is, and you should take pride in being able to express your manhood openly, especially to your queens of which you come from. You
Mm-hmm.
come through the portal of a woman. Other than Adam, you come through the portal of a woman. And because of that, you should want to honor that whenever you have the opportunity to do so. Because when you do, you honor the daughters of the Most High God, and He turns around and He honors you. It's
Mm-hmm.
reciprocal. So you're not doing it in vain when you do it, and don't do it reaping a physical benefit. But look at it more so as I get to do this. I get to display openly my manhood, and I'm gonna land with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good place to
Nah,
land.
definitely. That's a hell of a place to land right there, and I appreciate it, man. As we come to the end on this right there, I hadn't done this in a while, but I think this has been very in depth. So I want to get like a 1 minute takeaway um, from everybody. Then I'll tell you what next week gonna look like as far as our topic because it's gonna be a good one. So
Uh-oh.
1 minute takeaway. Let's go round robin on it. So chocolate, you're up at the top. Let's go round robin. Let's take a 1 minute takeaway so we can keep it pushing.
Communication is key in any situation. Keeping communication lines of communication open and being honest with each other of one's wants and needs.
All right, Sharon.
Wisdom is the action of the knowledge.
I like that.
That's a good
Kia.
one that I got from you all.
Yeah, I like that one. Kia.
As always, I love intellectual conversation, and tonight's panel was just that. Um, show up your authentic self. Be willing to have those conversations, those hard conversations when you know that may be your person. And get my book. Grab my book, and it's in my
Plug.
bio, and
Plug.
Advertisement.
all of
Plug.
that. Support a sister.
Yeah.
Reach one, teach one. So if anybody got reached with anything we said on this panel tonight, then I'm blessed with that. So I love you all. That part.
There we go. Busy.
Yeah, just communication, man. Communicate what you want, and you guys just react off that information, and yeah, and around and around we go.
Appreciate you, brother, as always.
Appreciate you too,
So,
bro.
Lord.
You know what? Thank y'all for having me. I'm glad to have met up all y'all. I'm going to hit the follow button, plus button now on everybody. As I'm saying this, I had this saying that I used to call Ola, Olla, but now y'all made me change it to Cola, Colla. So we're gonna add the C is communication, the O observation, the L listen, the other L learn, and the A for action. So
Come
everybody out
on
there,
Okay.
through.
Come
that
on, bro.
co-op.
Nice.
Appreciate that now.
That's
That's how you
good.
land.
Woo,
You
woo,
know,
woo.
I
I
already
heard
got
them
that.
wheels
And
coming
anybody
down.
out there that's already patented, so don't try to go and grab it. I'm gonna have T-shirts. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna work this whole thing out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, communicate,
Yeah.
observe, listen, learn, and act.
Hey, dropped it right there, brother. Dropped it right there. Um, and for the chat, what do you guys take away? I don't want to miss an opportunity of something that could be some gems in the chat down there, because I appreciate the chat for showing up. So what are your takeaways? Give you guys a moment on that. Give them a few minutes here, and then once I get a few of
Unfortunately,
those, then
this old bird got to go to bed. I
Night
got
okay.
night.
I got to hit the plantation in the morning.
Don't
I know
All
that's
right,
say
yeah,
right.
absolutely,
don't say
Trying
that.
to get my
absolutely.
40 acres in a mule.
Hey,
Man, I got to pick
look,
that 100 pounds of cotton.
we're talking. Give me 3 minutes with this,
All right,
and
baby.
we
Okay.
gonna land. So unapologetically, Christy said communication is key. Busy, hey, always filled with some wisdom. Um, so I don't think anybody else put anything out there yet. So I'm gonna tell you guys next week. This one here is this one here. I was looking at I was watching a pod, and there was a doctor in there. Dr. Shaniska Johnson was talking. And she said something, and it was very profound. And I said, you know what, I need to do a segment for the fellas, but it's also going to, of course, include the ladies on it. And she said, men have to understand that when your wife, keyword, highlight, when your wife shows up that has favor, your life is supposed to shift. Favor drops in your lap.
Mm.
And
I
I
agree.
sat there when she said that.
I agree.
When your wife shows up that has favor, your life is supposed to shift. The highlight of it was saying that when a man has a wife that has favor, he has to know at this point my life is about to shift. Okay, so
That's
we're gonna
wow.
yeah, we're gonna jump into that next Wednesday. Because I'll be on next Wednesday. Everybody that don't know, I do this every Wednesday and Thursday, same time, 7 p.m. Central Time. Um, um, I will do it next Wednesday, but Thursday I won't be on because we'll be traveling, so I won't be on next Thursday. But Wednesday we'll definitely be on. That's when we're going to jump onto this topic right here. Um, and let's see, I had a couple of little comments in here. A man knows what he wants, moves with intention. Communication is key. Kia said, grab that book. Grab that book, y'all.
Grab
Y'all
the
see
book.
it. Sunshine says, alignment is everything. Just appreciate. He said, communication is the oxygen to the relationship. Without it, it dies. Peace and love, everyone. Unapologetic Christian. I think some men miss his wife looking everywhere. Whew, we're gonna find out next week. Old fashioned, absolutely. I don't know what I'm gonna do next week, y'all. I'll figure out something, but I got my little smoker.
Mojitos.
Shout out to you, Marlon. Shout out to you, to the host, bro.
Yes, Marlon. I
Claps
love
up.
Yeah,
it.
Claps up.
appreciate
This
it.
dope
Appreciate
Yes.
panel.
it.
Shouts out, bro.
Yes. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys are you know, do that thing that I normally talk about that TT be trying to catch me do, but y'all know the kind of like run away from me and then come back to me. Y'all get what I'm picking up? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down?
I'm not.
I'm picking it up. I'm picking it up.
I'm not. I don't.
See, I gotta keep the kids out the road. So
You talking about
you
ankle
know,
twisting?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
What?
Yeah.
Knee, elbows, let your knees touch
Yo,
your
I
elbows.
said I'm trying to go to sleep.
Let
Y'all,
your,
I'm done. I can't.
Look,
I got
I
three
I,
get that.
brain. I got three
I get
brain
that.
cells left, and they ain't talking to each other.
look.
as they
Like
said in Cooley
read
I
what
High,
get
belly
Pop
one
rubbing.
right
exactly
over my
said.
head.
Hey,
She
you ever
said,
seen Cooley High, Sharon? You
Coolie
ever seen the
high,
movie?
yes.
You remember
Yes.
that girl said you ain't no belly rubbing going on in here.
No.
mm-hmm.
When they was in the dance, when they were in
Yeah.
the at the
Yeah,
in the red
yeah,
room with the red light.
yeah.
Okay, I'll
That's
look
my
at
mama
Coolie
that's
High
my mama
tonight.
break front.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make
So
sure I look at
y'all
Coolie
see what
High before
unapologetic
next
Christie
week.
said, right? Look
Huh?
over for some time and then find his way back. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
As Tweet said, oops, there goes my up over my head. Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay, well
So
that's over my head, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Oh, look at her rapper.
Marlon, always a
yeah.
pleasure. Panel, yo,
Hey,
a dynamic. Y'all have a good night.
yeah. All
Night,
right, I'm gonna
y'all.
drop you down, chocolate. Here we go. I'm gonna drop
Thank
you down
you.
so you keep them twins.
Ooh.
Sharon, appreciate you. Gonna drop you down next.
See you later. Bye, y'all.
Peace. Kia,
Sunshine got it.
as always.
As always, peace, buddy.
Busy, my boy. I'm gonna drop you down right here, man. Appreciate you as always. If y'all need to get them nature walks, y'all need to holler at my boy Busy. He gonna have you up there hiking and in the mountains, boy.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Appreciate you, brother.
For sure.
Word.
Word.
79. That's my year right there.
I'm my new brother.
All
Appreciate you,
right.
man.
Thanks for having me, pimp.
Oh no, for sure, for sure, for sure. Everybody that's in the chat, you know, go and follow your boy. And if you're already doing that, you know, go away with it and come right back again. Y'all get it? All right. So, as always, cheers, salute to everyone. Um, check me out next week. We about to do this thing, y'all. Peace.